In Journey Through the Real Book number 84, let's do a little musical detective work. I'm Ron Drotos from KeyboardImprov.com. Thanks for being here. And this is Dear Old Stockholm, which is known primarily through the Miles Davis recording from the 50s with his first classic quintet with John Coltrane on tenor saxophone, Miles, of course, on trumpet, Red Garland on piano, Paul Chambers on bass, and Philly Joe Jones on drums. And I say musical detective work because there's more here than meets the eye. It's called Dear Old Stockholm, and it's got a little intro. Then the melody. And I did a little internet research, and the pieces aren't connected on the internet. But here's what I'm thinking. Okay, we do know that it was based on a Swedish folk song. And the name of the folk song, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, is Warmland. It's like warm, W-A-R-M-E, land, L-A-N-D. And a few jazz musicians have recorded it in versions that are closer to the original, which is like this beautiful hymn-like song. Claire Fisher, great arranger pianist who also worked with Prince. He's recorded it like that. John Lewis from the Modern Jazz Quartet. I think his version is called Dear Old Stockholm, but it's got that sort of more hymn-like, slower sort of beauty of the homeland kind of vibe to it. It's not as jazzy, put it that way. But Miles took this tune and he transformed it. And here's the thing. We do know that Miles' best friend and longest friend, maybe through his whole adult life from the 40s on, was Gil Evans. Not Bill Evans, the pianist, but Gil Evans, the arranger. They first collaborated with the Birth of the Cool sessions in the late 40s. And then later in the 50s and early 60s, they did the three classic albums, Miles Ahead, Porgy and Bess, Sketches of Spain, and then they did what became the Quiet Nights album, Bossa Nova. It wasn't really finished. And then they collaborated occasionally all the way up through, I forget who died first. Gil died first, right? Because I was at the memorial service when I was Jerry Mulligan's assistant. I remember. Because actually, just a side story, when Gil Evans died, I think it was 87 or 88, Jerry Mulligan, who I was working with, he called up Miles and he said, hey, let's get the Birth of the Cool band back together, the octet, and play the two arrangements Gil Evans had arranged for the band, Boplicity and Moon Dreams. And Jerry got off the phone and he was really upset because I think Miles said something like, Jerry, why do you want to play that old stuff anyway? And, didn't go anywhere. Miles eventually did play that stuff again, or some of it. But basically, they did it at the memorial service. So Gil Evans passed away and the collaboration obviously ended. But here's the thing. If you read some of Gil Evans' biographies, there's two of them, other musicians who worked with Miles are quoted as saying that Gil was at these recording sessions. He was on a lot of these recording sessions, kind of just helping out here and there, uncredited. He did arrange the introduction to So What? That's his. Also, he was known for enticing Miles to go in more of a modal direction, like with So What and other tunes, Milestones. And he also loved adapting folk songs. That's what Sketches of Spain is largely, and he did that in some of his own work too. So, if you put these things together, Gil Evans was at these recording sessions, giving Miles advice, or when Miles needed advice, he would say how to solve these musical problems. He loved adapting folk songs, and these chords are very Gil Evans-like. Especially that, the minor 7 with the sharp 5. Gil would do that, these vamps. Very Gil Evans-like, even extending the ending with this sus chord. Very much something that he would do, this modal, floating kind of sound. So I think Gil Evans did this arrangement, and it's uncredited. I've never read that anywhere, but I would bet on it. This is Gil Evans. Okay, having said that, let's get into it. Wonderful tune. Hope this inspires you. was definitely thinking Gil Evans as much as Miles Davis on that. He's one of my probably 3 favorite jazz musicians. Gil Evans, Wayne Shorter, and Keith Jarrett, probably my 3. So hopefully this gets you into the tune. Dear Old Stockholm, thanks for being here. If you'd like to study piano with me, I'd love to teach you at Keyboard Improv. You can take Skype lessons. We can work together that way, or through my video course, and I'll give you personal guidance. Thanks for being here. I'm just going to go out. I love that ending. I'm just going to play the ending a little bit more.